Hello YouTubians, it is Paul from Fat Guy Productions coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Today we're going to have some fun. You can see we're at the workbench and that always means coin rings. Okay, coin rings it is. I have a beautiful 1880 Morgan silver dollar. Oh wait, I don't have one. I have two. Okay, today what we're doing is we're making a wedding set. That's right, a wedding set. And this customer has asked for some unusual stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a three-part series on this, okay? Part one, we're going to make the man's ring. Part two, we're going to make the woman's ring. And part three, we're going to polish these so you can go through our polishing process. All right, so without further ado, let's get going. I'll explain what's so special about it as we get going. Coin rings. Whenever I'm making a coin ring, I always begin by annealing. Some people do it later. I do it right out at the beginning. I begin by placing a mark on the coin with a Sharpie pen. Now I apply the heat from a blowtorch, and when the mark starts to fade away, I know I've annealed just enough. Go too far and you'll ruin your coin. Now I'll quench the coin by giving it a dip in some cool water. Many will say that that will harden metal. And they'd be right if this was a ferrous metal. But this is a non-ferrous metal, and quenching doesn't hurt the annealing process in the least. All it does is speed you on your way in the coin ring making process. Now it's time to punch the hole in the center of the coin. As this is a special wedding set, and I want the man's ring to be a little bit bigger than normal, I will bypass the normal punch I use, and I'm going to opt for a smaller one to give me a smaller starting hole, and thus a slightly bigger ring. Using Jason's Works punch, made specifically for punching holes in coins, I'll start by putting the receiving part of the punch into the set, then a centering ring, then the coin, then I'll thread the top onto the punch, and now I'll take the actual punch itself and give it a little coating of some Pepe lube. This will pay off big time when it's time to get this sucker out of the coin, because sometimes it can be a real bear. And now the magic happens. And there you have it, a nice hole dead center in the coin. This punch set was bought by Jason's Works, and you can find his store on Etsy. I love his stuff, and he has a brand new punch that is self-centering. Will work with any coin. Alright, a couple quick knocks with a soft hammer will drive the punch out of the coin, and I'm ready to move on. Next up is a quick pass with the deburring tool to soften the edges and remove any micro tears. Remember, this coin is silver, so those shavings have value. I make sure to catch them and put them in a little jar along with the punch outs, and I'll recycle them later. Alright, now it's time for the first and most difficult fold of the entire process. Because this is a tough fold, I'll be using a stainless steel starting cone. The stainless steel helps make this push a lot easier, and because it won't be contacting the sides of the coin as I'm doing it, it's not going to obliterate any of the interior designs. After this, however, I'll be sure to use a soft pushing cone for the rest of this. This is a great time to do some filing to the cut edge. I use a rounded file for the inner cut edge and a straight file for the outer edge. If you even remotely think it's time to re-anneal, it's time to re-anneal. You cannot anneal too much, and failing to anneal enough will split your coin. There's nothing worse. These are special coins, match dates, old. I don't want to ruin these coins. I'll be annealing a lot throughout this coin ring making process. For the remainder of the folding process, I'll be using Jason's Works dies and a set of Delrin pushing cones made by Neil Pippett, who lives in London, England. His pushing cones and all of the stuff he makes out of Delrin is fabulous. These cones do a great job, and they don't mar your coin in any way, shape, or form. Really great stuff. I know I'm done when the sides of the coin touch the pushing cone. Make sure I don't go too far so I don't damage any of the artwork on the inside of the ring. But once it's touching, I'll know I've folded the coin as far as I can. The gentleman who wanted this ring wanted a size 8. So that means I'm going to have to use a Swedish wrap technique. Again, I'll be using Jason's Works Swedish wrap die and Neil Pippet pushers to do the work. I begin by wrapping the coin with the Teflon tape. This Teflon tape will help the coin slide down through the die and protect the artwork. I'll use a slightly larger pusher to level the coin in the die. Then I'll flip it over to the actual size I want to use to push the coin through. You can see here in the video that I have my pushers marked so I know how far I can go before they bottom out. Now it's just a matter of repeating the process, annealing, wrapping, and pushing through the Swedish wrap die. In this instance, I will be pushing the coin all the way through the bottom of the die. Alright, I'm almost at a size where the coin will go right out the bottom of the Swedish wrap die. So to accommodate this, I'm using a thing called a ring bearer, made also by Jason's Works. And basically it gives the ring a place to drop out of the die while I'm pressing it through.
I love this part when we push the ring out the bottom. Be sure to do this quickly and smoothly, as you can leave a mark in the ring if you don't. Alright, the ring looks really nice to me. I'm going to give it a quick size check to make sure that I'm where I need to be so that I can bring it down and give it a fat tire and hit my final size. Bullseye. Now, using a die with a 25-degree wall, I'm going to reduce the ring and give it a fat tire look. I'll lube up the edge with some Pepe lube to make sure it slides through the die nicely. And I'm going to start to press it and bring the edges of the ring in, hitting my final target size and giving it the finished look.
Shit.
When I'm pressing on the cut side, I don't need to protect the ring so much. But when I'm going to be pressing on the face of the ring with the reeded edge, I take a shop towel, fold it up, and put it between the ring and the press to protect the reeds. Now I'll start to press, draw the cut edges in, and this should be close to wrapping up the Swedish wrap and the fat tire look that I'm going for. Alright, it looks like we have it here. I'm just going to give it a final size check. Normally I would have to go to the ring stretcher, but it looks like we hit this one right on the head.
Alrighty, here we go. There it is. A perfectly done size 8 Morgan silver dollar coin ring. And it's a little beefier because of the smaller hole I started with. That will hopefully give me a nice comparison between the male ring and the female ring. So when you see them next to each other, you'll be able to see a clear difference. So there it is. This one's done. In part 2, we're going to make the woman's ring, which is going to be a lot more challenging to try and keep it normal looking, feminine, all of those kind of things. And then in part 3, we'll do the polishing of these rings. Okay, so for this episode of Fat Guy Productions, this is making a wedding set, part 1. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, ask any questions, make any comments you have, and until the next video, be good.